We have holiday cards today and some other kind of interesting things. Today I'm going to talk and show a few Santa Claus Christmas-based holiday cards from the early 1900s. The same for Halloween genre cards. And then kind of a bonus over here. One of the things that I find so fascinating about these old cards, well, two things when it comes to the content. So if we're not talking about real photo postcards, and we're talking about holiday cards like this, one of the things is just simply the artwork. Many of these publishers hired artists independently. Sometimes they had them on the payroll, but they created designs and these pieces. And so originally these were maybe larger pieces of artwork that were sketched out, probably were painted at one time as original pieces of artwork, and then those were used as the basis for what you end up seeing in print on the postcards. Certain artists would do multiple different types. So one artist might do cards for a variety of holidays, not just one holiday. One artist I really like, Samuel Schmucker, he did, and he's an artist that a lot of people have never heard of, and yet his artwork is incredible. And he did Halloween postcards. He did a variety of other ones. He did stuff for the Winch publisher. But here we have Santa Claus. So one of the things is the artwork. I love the artwork. The other thing that I'll mention about cards like this is we think of Santa Claus, and in the 2000 era, in the culture, Western culture of the United States, for example, we have our knowledge and our ideas of the myth of Santa Claus, or like the story of Santa Claus, is built on what we were told by our parents, and kind of what we have read in stories and books, and then visually what we've seen, right? And these are stories that have been handed down over time, and it may or may not surprise you to discover or hear that what Santa Claus, the story of Santa Claus, which is based on a real person, Saint Nicholas, what he looks like and what he came to do and how he did it, the story of this has changed throughout time. And so what we know of Santa Claus and what we think the story is and what he looks like and what he did is very different than what it looked like, or what people, the stories that were told 50 years ago, 100 years ago, 300 years ago. And so what I also love is when you're looking at cards like this, which date back to the 19 teens, or even before that, in some cases the early or the late 1800s, the look of Santa Claus morphs a little bit over time, and you see some of these that will bring another one out here in a moment that he looks different. And so some of these were made in Germany. And so what you're looking at are more of like a early 1900s German representation of what this Santa Claus figure would have looked like. And so like here he has more of kind of a grayish beard, and he's wearing, the stocking cap, of course. We kind of got gold lining here. It's silver lining here. It's white lined here. We've got red, which is what people, I think, now traditionally think of Santa Claus as wearing a red outfit. But it's more of a pinkish here. And this one, he's got a red hat, but oh, look, he's wearing green. Okay, he's wearing a green outfit. Over here, and this is not exactly Santa Claus. This is more of a New Year's card. Actually, I've got it thrown in here with the Christmas ones. But we have little who look like Santa Claus from like maybe the head up, but there's a tiny little person. So this is like an elf or a dwarf or something like that, of some kind. And I just love to see how this changes over time. This is the artist of this one is Ellen Clapsaddle, and her name is on there. Again, traditional and red. But here we're going to find some other representations. Here we have, and unfortunately this has some condition issues on the upper corner, but we have Santa in like a bluish or more of a violet colored outfit, still holding that bag of toys. Okay, but he is represented in sort of a different way visually. I really like this card. I like the art of this card. I don't know who the artist is of this one, but it's embossed, as you can see. It was printed in Germany, as many of these were. Here's another where he's wearing a green cape, or a green kind of like coat, and he's got a purple hat with brown around the edge here. Very, very colorful card. Beautiful, I think. Here's another one. Now, he is in red, but it's definitely an older, I mean, his face looks almost like the face of kind of like a child in this one, but he's still got that pack, the large white beard. Here again, he is in more of a purple color with a brown, sack. He's still got the brown kind of frilly part at the bottom of his coat. Here we go back to red. Red again here, he's by a fire, but see, his coat's even different. And these are all just different artist representations, trying to be creative, trying to make something that's a little bit different. I ended with this one, which is very similar to the first one, as you can see. Same artist, but it's a different design. There's too much glare on these. These are on little plastic sleeves, but we've got Santa on the left, a little girl on the right. Over here we have a little girl on the left, Santa on the right. He's in green in this one. I don't know if he's in white or if this is just his beard covering the whole thing. But these are really, I really love these. People like these as well, as far as like purchasing, if you have any of these to sell. But know that values are typically higher for the ones that have the less commonly seen depictions of Santa, where he's wearing blue or green or purple. The red are more common. I just love this whole collection. These can be sold individually, or you could sell them in a group like this. Now, when it comes to the Halloween postcards, again, the artwork I think is really interesting. Also, anymore you don't really see Halloween with the apostrophe over one of the E's. Halloween. But they did back in this time. This is a Raphael Tuck card. And this is just a handful that I've acquired over the last month. And this one's got all the really cool earmarks, lots of things: cats, moons, bats, pumpkins, bobbing for apples, which is apparently a pretty popular activity for like Halloween get-togethers and Halloween parties back in the early 1900s. Again, apostrophe there. A woman in red, and some dude creeping on her from around the back there. Here's one with the people with Claus. Don't be scared on Halloween. There's one, pumpkins looking pretty uncomfortable there, but kid carving a pumpkin out in it looks like a wheat field. What do we got here? World's Panama Pacific Exposition, 1915. I'll put that over here. Here's another one. We got bobbing for apples again. Pumpkins, a witch, a black cat, and bobbing for apples. A lot of the same themes here. And then I've put in a couple here that I don't know if these are actually made for Halloween, but we definitely have an interesting, this is a real photo postcard of a bunch of people dressed up very strangely. They don't exactly look like they're dressed up like clowns, but I don't know what's going on there. And then this one again, they're dressed up kind of like clowns. So I don't know if they're trying to be clowns, or if they're dressing up in some sort of costume garb for Halloween. But I threw them in here also. Anyways, good condition. That one's not been used at all, and neither has this one. Corners are all good, no creases. Maybe the only one of its kind, as far as I know. I'm going to show these real fast. No, they are not postcards, but there is some crossover interest here, and the main connection is that these, among other things that come in periodically, came in with a lot of postcards. And so either a person just threw them in, maybe they thought they were intended to be postcards, maybe they were intended to be postcards. My guess is they were, and I'll explain why. But what you're looking at here are 5 real photographs. Kind of. They are on photo paper, much like a real photo postcard would be. And they all are the same family. And these are from the early 1940s, believe it or not, early to mid 1940s. So this is right around, during, and just after World War II. And you've got this family here. It looks like they're popping out of the inside of a Christmas present. Here's our box of Christmas cheer, and may it last throughout the year. The Nixes. So this is the family, the Nix. What's kind of cool about this is you're seeing two adults and maybe another adult and a child, okay? Then you pop over here, and this is maybe earlier than that one. I would say that it is, because the older of the two younger people seems to be younger in this picture than in this one. They're standing behind an 8-ball with a little dog. We may be behind the 8-ball financially, but we can sure wish you a big Christmas and a Happy New Year. The Nixes. Here we go. It's the same old dose. Here's some Christmas spirits for you. Get it? The double entendre there? A person holding a spoon, and they're all sitting on it like it's something. Now we got two dogs down here. Oh, they must have two dogs. Christmas 1942. Over here, they're on hand again. They're sitting on a hand. Here they are, the adults. They're even older this time. To wish you a Merry Christmas, the Nixes. So either this is the eldest son and the youngest son, or maybe the oldest son and his child. I'm not really sure. And then down here, my guess is this either was the first or the last. I don't see a date on any of these. So either this is the oldest when he was younger, or this is the youngest after he's grown up. But it says, here's hoping you can foot the bills of a Merry Christmas and blow in a Happy New Year. Robert Nix. So this is young Robert. All of these are very fascinating to me. I've never come across anything like this. There are such a thing as what they call exaggerated postcards, which is where you have one thing that is exaggerated in size. And so these would technically fit the bill for that, because you have an enlarged 8-ball, you have an enlarged present, an enlarged hand, a spoon. This is not exactly enlarged, but they're still doing something a little different here with the development of this. And so all of this would have been done in a dark room. You would have had a photograph of a family. They somehow eliminate the background. They take another image, and then they somehow superimpose them together. Now, in the early 40s, I have no idea how they did this. And all I'll say is that, it's number one, it's super fun. It's super creative to do. I want to be friends with this family. This is stinking cool. I'd love to get one of these in the mail. I imagine these were made to send out as New Year's or Christmas cards to friends and family. But they also, I'm guessing, had to be pretty wealthy in order to have the finances to pay someone to do this kind of thing, which was not being done. I mean, maybe some people were doing it. Again, I've handled thousands of postcards, multiples of thousands, probably, oh man, 6 figures when it comes to postcards. I've handled a lot over the years, and also a lot of black and white photographs. Never seen anything like these. I was so happy to get them in. I really don't know what to do with them. Sometimes I think about selling them, and then I'd stop, because to me they're so unique. If I were to ever sell them, I would sell them as a group, because they are just so unique. Anyways, to end the video, I'm going to show you one more postcard, and I'm very excited about this. This is my latest one coming in, and I think I mentioned it before, but I don't, because I buy and sell, as a rule, I don't really collect things. There are some pieces of artwork which I hold on to. It doesn't mean I'll never sell them, but for now I'm just enjoying them. I play, music is an interest of mine, so I play some instruments, so musical instruments are sometimes hard to get rid of. But when it comes to postcards, because I love them so much, and I also love art, the artist Alphonse Mucha, who essentially is the primary person that you would think of who sort of transformed and is like the main person behind an entire art movement, the Art Nouveau movement. This is a card made of his art. You can see his signature right here by my thumbnail, Muka. This was a series he did of months of the year, and I think Janvier, I think that this is June or maybe January. I have to go look because I don't know this language. But it's dated 1907. Ideally, this would have been a card with no writing on it at all. But the fact that it has this old stamp, the postmark, it's written, and you have the cancellation here, really helps to date this and to show that it is a genuine original artifact. Cards by Muka can be found as cheaply at times as $50, $75. That's cheap. Into the thousands of dollars. They were not, there were a good amount made, but there aren't a lot surviving in good condition. And he is a very, very well-known, well-respected artist. Very happy to have this in my collection. I'm going to try to amass as many of these as I possibly can by this artist because I can enjoy the beauty of them, and also they have resale value in the future. Well, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. We'll have another one for you next week.